Gotta come sit over here. Aloha, class.
Aloha.
Okay, I have pretty paper for you. Now, on this piece of paper, I want you to write down one of the rights that is protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution.
Oh shoot.
Just write down whatever you think, okay? And go ahead, I'll collect them.
Oh, that peanut butter is good.
See this?
Oh,
Okay, very good, very good. Ooh, speech. Alright.
I'm bored.
Religion. Alright. Okay. Arms. Alright. Freedom of arms, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Alright, very good. Well, let's check it out. So, have some pictures here. See if we can match any of these. Alright, what does this look like?
Speech. Newspapers.
Newspapers. Newspapers? Alright. Is it the right of arms?
No way.
To bear arms? The freedom of religion? No? Freedom of speech?
It could be golden plates.
Okay, well. They're newspapers. We'll just clarify. Alright, well. So, not quite. Now, let's see here. What does this look like?
oh, freedom of press.
Religion.
What might this be? Uh-huh.
Religion.
Religion. Alright, alright. So it's agreed. Freedom of religion right here. Alright, good. Now, what might this be? What does that look like?
The president.
Freedom of
Speech.
speech? Because the guy's giving a speech?
Yeah.
Good. Alright. Chelsea, I need you to be the designated like, prepare her.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, what does this look like? What freedom might this be?
Freedom to write.
To write?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Speech.
Speech.
Speech. Alright.
No.
We already have one for
protest?
speech. Peaceful
Freedom of-
protest. Alright, close. Here, let's just tape it up and let's see what we have.
Where? Here?
It's right next here. Okay, it says I don't like, and there's signatures that say Jack B. Lambo, Checkle Childs, Tulith La, Skipper. Alright, we'll see. What does this look like? This is a person, and these scribbly things are people.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest. Alright, close, very close.
Oh,
Very good, very good.
wait.
We'll clarify. You got it.
What is it?
Or the gather or something.
Where?
Yeah, perfect. Alright, so
Assembly.
Or something.
assembly.
Oh, there you go.
Yona, very good.
Teamwork.
Oh man.
I helped you, right?
Alright, class, well right here we have what is the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Okay, Chelsea, can I have you tape this up right here for everyone to see very clearly? Alright, so let's just check this out.
Chelsea, you might as well just put a whole roll of tape on that table.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so right here, let's go ahead and read it. I'll read it to you. It says, the United States Constitution prohibits the making of any law respecting an establishment of religion, impeding the exercise of religion. Okay, so that, right there, where's my, oh, there it is. That is the first, what is called a clause. Does anyone know what a clause is?
Santa Claus?
Portion of a sentence.
Portion of sentence, yes! Perfect.
Oh, it's not Santa Claus?
Almost, but not quite.
No.
In this context, it is not Santa Claus.
Dang it.
Okay, this is the first clause of the amendment. Okay, so it is the religion clause. Okay, what makes you might say that it's the religion clause? Chelsea?
Because it says impeding the free exercise of religion.
Religion. Alright, hey, good. We have someone pick that. Good. Now, next one. The abridging, so the United States prohibits the making of any law abridging the freedom of speech. So, oh look, we have freedom of speech.
Yay!
Very good. Okay, next we have infringing on the freedom of
The
press.
that's the newspaper.
Oh, press. That's the newspaper. Oh my goodness. Jonah, could you write press on here?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, next. So we have freedom of press. What's next?
Interfering with the right to peacefully assemble.
Peacefully assemble. Alright, Tuli.
Yes.
That was yours, right?
Yes.
What did you say earlier? Peacefully protest, right?
Protest.
Well, assembly
Yeah.
also includes protesting. So if you're picket fencing, that's legal. And
Fencing.
protected.
It's me.
You know, you have
It's
your
okay,
picket
right back.
fence protests. I don't know, anyways.
Little
Okay.
new word today.
Next. So that is protected under, we'll talk about it more. But there's more that is under that. So, and then the prohibiting of, or no wait, any law prohibiting the
Petitioning.
petition. What looks like a petition?
That.
That
press.
one.
Press.
I do not.
Oh,
Wait.
So this
I do
is-
not.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hey, taper. Thank you. Tuli, can you write down assemble?
Where's your pen?
Good. And Chels, can you write down petition? Okay, so this is press. And Julie, which one does this go under?
Assemble.
Assemble. Very good. Right here. Okay. And petition. So this is a petition because it's something you don't like and you're signing it to say, I don't like this. Okay? Which it says here, the petition for a governmental redress of grievance. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Alright, everyone, check this out. We have a worksheet. And now this graphic organizer is something that you will be filling out throughout the lesson. How does that sound? Fantastic? I know. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Excuse my mistake. Error. Here you go. Go ahead, put your name on top. Now, throughout class today, we will be filling in, and will be counting towards your participation points, which, as you know, are the greatest portion of your grade, final grade, that is. And this will count towards that. Now, we're going to cover clause 1. So, Chelsea, can I get you to write in number 1 and put a piece of tape on top of that? What is the first clause of the Constitution?
Religion.
Religion. Very good. Okay. Okay, now what is it about religion? What does that mean? Freedom of a religion.
Let them worship how
Where
or what.
they may.
Wait, finish each other.
That sounds so familiar.
Right.
We're a unified class.
Good. Very good.
Positive learning environment.
Exactly.
Alright.
Faithful for.
Okay, perfect. So, that's exactly what it means. So, the first clause of the First Amendment prohibits the making of any law respecting an establishment of religion impeding the free exercise of religion. So, the first clause of, this is the first clause, which is the religion clause. Now, this also talks about how, and you might have heard this saying, the separation of church and state. Okay? And this means that the government cannot impose any beliefs and mandate any church to believe in something. Nor can a church send over to the government any mandates in which the government has to do something. So there's a separation between the two. But that phrase isn't in the Constitution. It's actually by Thomas Jefferson writing to a church pastor, explaining that there was a separation between the two, and that the government would not be pushing and enforcing on churches. Okay, very good. So, in the end, the church, or not the church, the freedom of religion, okay, is, as you can that you heard? Oh, sorry. Give me one moment. As you said, is to worship what and how you may, and not being forced to believe on anything. Okay. Perfect. So that is freedom of religion. Now, are there any times that this might, or are there any issues in today's world that you might see with freedom of religion?
Some people like to say that their religion involves red punch and things like that harm other people.
Ooh, okay. So we're talking about that one thing happening in Waco, Texas, correct?
Indeed.
Yes. All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. That's great. Thanks, man. All right. Very good. So, as you can see, religion may be dangerous to people's health. All right. Or to life, I mean. Okay. Very good. That could be an issue, risen, because of the freedom of religion. Very good. Now, let's move on to the next one, topic number 2. Okay, now, as you need to be filling in, what is an example of freedom of religion? Okay. One example that I came up with as I thought about this is that, for example, in Europe, before the U.S. Had become a country, there were these things called crusades, and the Catholic Church imposed their will on the beliefs of others, and if not, they would kill them. And so, the governing power, the Catholic Church, was imposing and forcing people to believe. And so that is an example of how not having the freedom of religion can negatively affect one's life. Okay. It's because there's no freedom. You have to believe this or that. Very good. Now, topic 2. Moving right along here real fast. Topic 2. Let's see here. What is, Jonah, the second clause of the U.S. Constitution?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. What does that mean?
That means that I can say whatever I please about how I feel about the gobierno.
Okay, you can share and voice your opinion. Very good, Jonah. Very, very good. Now, something I want to help everyone understand is that this freedom is and does have some restrictions. For example, so here's your example. If I were to go to an airport and say, jokingly, I have a bomb, do you think that that is protected by the freedom of speech?
No.
No. So it is restricted. But, like Jonah said, and Jonah, you hit it right on the head, very good, is that it is the freedom to voice your opinion. Okay? And that is the clause number, what?
2.
Those.
2. Alright, what's number 2, Tulip?
Freedom of speech.
Very good. Alright, let's move on. Oh wait, last question. What issues might arise with freedom of speech?
Things that are offensive.
Offensive.
Racist comments.
Yeah.
Ooh, you guys don't listen to you girls. You don't listen to you girls. Oh, that was offensive. Speech? Ooh. Okay, good. Racism. Very good. I like that a lot. Okay, moving on. Topic 3. So what's the third clause, Tuli?
Freedom of the press.
Freedom of the press. No, so over here. Okay, Tuli, to you, what is freedom of press?
Just as it said in your picture, being able to publish things, for example, in the newspaper.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so it's having the ability to publish as you would like. Now, in the time of the Constitution, when it was conceived, when it was created, freedom press was mainly talking about like printing presses. But where else might we see the freedom of press? Chelsea?
Books,
Books, yes.
magazines.
Magazines, very good. Jonah?
Internet.
Internet, very good. Okay, perfect. Those are great examples of freedom of press. You have people printing and publishing, producing their own, their own productions of news. Very good. So something to just put it in an example is, I remember during the Women's World Cup, or it might have been men's, but the North Korea soccer team they were in the World Cup, and they ended up losing. I mean, they were very good. But it was reported that in North Korea, the news stations and everything were saying that North Korea had won the World Cup. So the government was controlling the press. Okay, here in part of the First Amendment is strictly forbidden, that the U.S., as it says here, the U.S. Constitution prohibits making of any law, infringing on the freedom of press. So saying you can't print this or you have to print this is in direct violation of the First Amendment. Okay, very good. Now, what kind of problem might we see with freedom of press?
Things that are false.
Okay, very good. Alright, so we're just going to pass real quick over clause 4 and 5. We're not going to go over exact examples because of time. We want to get to our discussion. We'll be able to discuss more, and for our next class we'll be able to move on to clauses 4 and 5 and discuss more in depth those two. But clause number 4 is, Chelsea?
Peacefully assemble.
Peacefully assemble. Number 4. Can you put 4 up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like gathering people. For example, Dr. Martin Luther King, bringing people together to stress the importance of civil liberties and the rights. Okay, clause number 5, Jonah.
Petitioning.
Petitioning, very good. For a governmental redress of grievances. Okay, so one example that I'd like to just show you real quick of petitioning is this. This is a petition. Just kidding. This is long line fishing. Now, it was petitioned because what had happened is that many fish were getting hooked, and actually birds, turtles, and the fishes that they didn't want to fish. They were mainly going for cod and halibut and tuna, but many sharks and turtles were dying, and so there was a petition sent out. 100,000 people signed it, and a judge struck this illegal. So this is now illegal, and as a result, because of the 5th clause of the First Amendment. Very good, class. Now, we're going to move on, and we're going to have a little short discussion about these things. Okay? Oh, mystery. Okay, now, as we do our discussion, there's some ground rules. Okay? And I just want you to remember these things. I'm going to help you out in case anyone gets out of hand. But as we have discussions, we want number 1 above all, and that's the number 1 rule in my classroom, is respecting others. So respect others and their opinions. Okay? Enthusiasm is wanted. Okay? So go ahead, get an opinion, stand behind, go. Be open to others' opinions. It's okay to disagree, but don't get out of hand with it. Okay, no need to interrupt one another. I will be calling on people. It's alright. You'll get your turn. And last, I'm going to have your names on these note cards in which I will draw from. So you call out your name. Very good. Yeah. Okay, so, is that understood? Everyone understand the ground rules to help them get going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. That's what I thought. Okay, so. Okay. Now, so the initial question that we're going to look at is why are each of these clauses important? Like, why, or in other words, why did the framers, or the founding fathers, framers of the Constitution, why did they want these in specific rights as the first rights to our new country? Protected rights. Okay, so let's start with the freedom of religion. Why is it important to have a freedom of religion? Okay, let's see who's going first. Okay, we have Tuli, freedom of religion. Why is it important that we have freedom of religion?
It is important to have the freedom of religion because not everyone has the same beliefs. So we should allow them to choose what they want to instead of forcing them to believe what they don't believe.
And anyone else? Chelsea?
To add to that, I just think it's important that they wanted us to have freedom because, like Tilly said, everybody has their own beliefs. And if you were to put a law saying that everybody had to be all one, probably cause a lot of problems. So nobody likes being told what they have to believe.
Now, with that, just to follow up the question, how do you think America would be different? What would be different if they didn't have the freedom of religion protected under the First Amendment?
How would America be different?
Hitler.
Something like Hitler, okay?
Along
Why
the
do you
lines
say that?
of that, because they didn't have a choice. It was either choose us or die.
Okay, so,
Or maybe it wouldn't have been die. Maybe it would have been.
yeah. Good. So, they wouldn't have that choice. Now, another question with that is, do you think America would still act, or the United States of America would actually still be the United States of America if they didn't have this freedom?
Maybe.
Aren't we like the only place that really has freedom?
Well, there's a lot of free countries. Yeah.
Well, because at the time of the amendment, not everybody was in agreement, and they had to secretly write it. So I'm sure if they didn't agree with it, they probably would have went all back to being separate.
John, what are you gonna say?
Like, how would our country be without this amendment?
Yeah, without the freedom of religion.
Without the freedom of religion. Well,
Specific.
well, there's a lot of cool inventions invented by Mormons.
Alright.
And if it weren't for the freedom of religion, we wouldn't have those advances.
Love it. Amazing.
Alright. Why do you say that? What did religion have to do with that?
Oh, it inspires people. And when people are forced into religion, like it takes away their agency, and that really doesn't make them better. It just makes them feel restricted and depressed and bad and not inspired to work, not motivated.
Very good. I like that. Good. Okay, so very important that happen. Now let's choose one more clause. Who would like to choose the next clause for discussion? Not Mrs. or Mr. Claus.
Oh, dang it.
Peaceably assembly.
Peaceably
That's what I was thinking.
assemble. Alright, well we have 2 people. Very good. So, Jonah, let's go back to the main question. Why is it important that we have that law to peaceably assemble?
If it weren't for that law, we may not be able to have this study group right now.
You know what? It's true.
And we would fail this course.
Something that stands out for me, and we weren't able to get to it in the lecture yet, but the freedom to peacefully assemble is really closely related to freedom of religion. You think about every religion, it really isn't a religion unless there's a gathering, there's a bringing together of common beliefs. And so, the religion is supported by peaceable assembly. So it's important, and not only that, there's many other things, but that's huge, is to be able to assemble common beliefs. So I think, Jonah, what you had said kind of about so a bunch of Mormons made the inventions, and because they're inspired. Well, yeah, it's true. Once you gather and you bring together thoughts and thought processes, everyone's going to be lifted up to a higher plane and strengthened, yes, interesting. And so therefore, peaceably assemble helps advances in society. And therefore, it has to be a protected right that we have under the Constitution to allow us to advance as a society. What do you think it might look like if we didn't have peaceable assembly? Jonah, you had mentioned we want to be able to learn and fill classes, but on a larger scale, what would it look like?
I think the church would be in hiding.
The church would be in hiding.
I mean, if we're connecting it to religion,
Yeah.
I feel like there would be.
they're trying to. Sorry. My turn is done. I'm done. Thank you, Joey.
Alright, Jonah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry
I'm sorry to
apologize.
I apologize.
Not continue, sorry.
Okay, so I feel like it would just be a really paranoid government, and like things would get out of hand. We could lose like all of our other rights if we can't get together because like more than one brain can think of a lot better ideas than just one brain.
Yeah. Exactly right. Alright, very good. So, to finish up, we have a nice little quiz. Now, to help you remember, Chelsea wants you to tape it right over this so we can't see it. So we're going to be tested on the first 5. The first 5 clauses of the First Amendment by taking this test. Oh my goodness. Here you go. Okay, now you have the pictures to help you out. Now, I want you to remember that the first has 5. Okay, so the First Amendment has 5 clauses, 5 specific rights protected. Okay. Now, it's going to be a little tricky because the first 2 are the same. The first 2 answers on here are going to be the same.
The same?
The first 2 lines are going to be the same clause. Oh, oops. I messed up, kind of.
Yeah.
You have the last answer given. Well, the last clause given. Excuse my error. But let's continue. finished.
Let's go.
Alright. Alright.
Questioning myself.
I know.
There's a lot of scribbles on these pages. Very good. Alright, so class, I just want to end by helping you remember that these are fundamental rights that cannot be impeded on. In other words, we have these rights and the government cannot take them as long as we are within the confines of the law. So in other words, that we don't go to jail. So, we have these rights. Now, if we didn't have these rights, we would see many different things, and our world would not be the way it is today. So good job, class.